Okay, so this scene's about Shrek and Artie. Shrek has gotten Artie, bringing him back to far, far away to be king. And they're making their way back through the forest. They're a little lost, and they're trying to find their way. So we have the castle here in the background. Start panning down, and we see Shrek and Artie enter the shot. And as they're walking, we hear a voiceover of Donkey telling really bad jokes to Puss. Knock, knock. Who's there? Cash. Cash who? No thanks. I prefer peanuts. Okay. Knock, knock. Who's there? Doris. Doris who? Doris Locke. That's why I had to knock. They hear a voice in the background. They stop. Did you hear that? See. They stop. And they look. Shrek and Artie just go over the crest of the hill and disappear. Totally empty. Curiously look at each other. They turn back, and then suddenly they see Gingy and Pinocchio standing in front of them. Puss pulls out his sword. Gingy? Pinocchio? Hi! Boy, it's great to finally see some familiar faces. Hi! Something's wrong. They look at each other. You fellas mind excuse us for a second? Shrek! Pinocchio grabs both of them, and Gingy jumps up, and she takes the sword out. It's the ground. They get pulled away into the bushes. Gingerbread turns around, throws away the sword, and disappears behind him. Back to Shrek and Artie on the cliff. They're looking over. Where is everyone? They look down. Just wind, a long drop. No one shows up, and suddenly, their footsteps. They turn around. Pinocchio, Gingy, what are you doing here? Fishing? Ah, great. Hey, you guys know how to get back to the castle? You go down. A little confused. He looks over his shoulder. Long drop. Excuse me? You go down. Gingy, suddenly his eyes turn red. He leaps up, right in Shrek's face, smacks him, goes off camera. Pinocchio grabs Artie before he can react. Wrestle, 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 off camera. Shrek hits the cliff, rocks fall down. He looks, long drop. Gingy pops up, grabs him by the lapel, and they wrestle off camera. Shrek lands in the shot, tears him off his face. Gingy, what's gotten into you? I'm not Ginger. He breaks away from Shrek's powerful grip. From the gut, flies up and disappears off camera for a second, and then picks Shrek up. Throws Shrek down on his head. Meanwhile, Pinocchio's spearing at Artie with his nose. Trying to kill Artie. He looks over. So in the nick of time, grabs a handful of sand and into Pinocchio's face and gets up and runs away. But he stops and he's met by an evil gingerbread man running towards him. He stops and freezes, turns around. Pinocchio on the other side. Shrek runs, jumps up in the shot and sees the predicament. Gingy runs and leaps. Pinocchio runs and leaps. Just in the nick of time, Shrek leaps and takes him out of the shot. Clap! They fall, hitting each other. Quick! Are you okay, Artie? Dust them off. I'm fine, Shrek, I'm fine. Oh! Shrek, I don't feel so good. Oh, little buddy. Dust them up. Gingy, what's happened? Meanwhile, like Nosferatu behind. Again. Pow! Meanwhile, Pinocchio approaches Artie and grabs him. There's a fight in the foreground and the background. Pinocchio pulls him off camera, and now they're spinning around and around and around. Artie breaks away from the grip, and as he comes in the shot, he raises his hands and he sees two strings attached to his wrists. It's pull off again. And then we find Pinocchio on Artie's head, and now the puppet becomes the puppet master. They start smashing him in the face. Meanwhile, Shrek's getting beaten up. And they go off camera for a moment, and Shrek gets flipped. And then Artie grabs the ropes and then yanks down. He lands on his feet, but now suddenly there's an arm missing. Artie raises up on the strings and he finds the other arm attached, and then suddenly, like a branch growing out of a tree, arm pops up. A huge oversized arm. Artie takes the stick and smacks it open there like a sword and gets ready for a fight. Like a WWF pose. Ginger pulls back and is like, ah! Takes his arm and readies. Huge block. And Artie just pushes off. Pinocchio gets one more time. Huge wind up. Just misses his neck, cuts off the hand. Artie's being backed up into the cliff. Nowhere to go. He looks up, sees rocks. Huge punch. Artie ducks down. Rocks start to tumble. Ginger jumps up on Shrek, pulls on the ears to stop him for a moment. And then Pinocchio, one last nose. As Artie runs, skewers him from the shirt into a crevasse. He's stuck now. As he's pulling, Shrek takes his fingers and the old Three Stooges, right in the eyes. He grabs him. Artie, get out of there now! And Shop puts Gingy out. So Gingy's flying through space. Artie takes one grab, rips his shirt away. He runs past him in the background. He releases his nose, and as he turns, Gingy flies on his back and lands with his one gumdrop. Sticky pulls back, looks up, oh, fudgesicle! See all the rocks coming down to camera. A huge boom, and smoke fills the screen. As it clears, we see a big tumble of rocks here. And Donkey Puss are finally freed themselves. Shrek, Shrek! You're never gonna believe this! Ginger and Pinocchio, who would they think you are? Duh. So then we find this little broken a cookie man on the ground, half robot, half cookie, and a robotic cough. Puss grabs his sword. You are a disciple of evil! Puss, wait. Who sent you? Little robot mouth opens up. Charming sent us. He's making his own happily ever after, and he's taking yours away. Away, away, away. The little red light fades out.